Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Today we are going to read part 23, Juz 23, page 441. Brother Ismail, could you start, please?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وما أنزلنا على قومه من بعده من جند من السماء وما كنا منزلين إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم خامدون يا حسرة على العباد ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون ألم يروا كم أهلكنا قبلهم من القرون أنهم إليهم لا يرجعون وإن كل لما جميع لدينا محضرون وآية لهم الأرض الميتة أحييناها وأخرجنا منها حبا فمنه يأكلون وجعلنا فيها جنات من نخيل وأعناب وفجرنا فيها من العيون ليأكلوا من ثمره وما عملته أيديهم أفلا يشكرون سبحان الذي خلق الأزواج كلها مما تنبت الأرض ومن أنفسهم ومما لا يعلمون وآية لهم الليل نسلخ منه النهار فإذا هم مظلمون والشمس تجري لمستقر لها ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم والقمر قدرناه منازل حتى عاد كالعرجون القديم لا الشمس ينبغي لها أن تدرك القمر ولا الليل سابق النهار وكل في فلك يسبحون.
28. We did not send down upon his people after him any hosts of angels from heaven to destroy them. It is not our way to send down such. 29. It was but a single blast only, and see, they were extinguished. 30. Alas for the servants of God who fail to serve him. Every time there has come to them a messenger, they have but mocked him. 31. Have they not considered how many a generation we have destroyed before them? They never returned to them, nor to their life of the world. 32. Instead, every generation, all without exception, will be arraigned before us for judgment. 33. A clear sign for them of God's oneness and lordship is the dead earth. We revive it and bring forth from it grain, and following the necessary preparatory processes and eat of it. 34. And we have set therein gardens of palms and vines, and we have caused springs to gush forth in it. 35. So that they may eat of the fruit of all that he produces, and they did not make it with their own hands. Will they not then give thanks? 36. All glorified is he, in that he is absolutely exalted above having any peer or partner, who has created the pairs all together of what the earth produces, as well as out of themselves and out of what they do not know. 37. Another clear sign for them is the night. We withdraw the day from it and see they are plunged in darkness. 38. And the sun runs the course, appointed for it for a term to its resting place for the stability of its system. This is measure determining of the all-glorious with irresistible might, to whose omnipotent ordering the whole universe is submitted, the all-knowing. 39. And for the moon we have determined mansions till it returns like an old shivered palm leaf. 40. It is not for the sun to overtake the moon, nor does the night outstrip the day. All the celestial bodies and systems float into orbit, determined for each.
وآية لهم أنا حملنا ذريتهم في الفلك المشحون وخلقنا لهم من مثله ما يركبون وإن نشأ نورقهم فلا صريخ لهم ولا هم ينقذون إلا رحمة منا ومتاعا إلى حين فإذا قيل لهم اتقوا ما بين أيديكم وما خلفكم لعلكم ترحمون وما تأتيهم من آية من آيات ربهم إلا كانوا عنها معرضين فإذا قيل لهم أنفقوا مما رزقكم الله قال الذين كفروا للذين آمنوا أنطعم من لو يشاء الله أطعمه إن أنتم إلا في ضلال مبين فيقولون متى هذا الوعد إن كنتم صادقين ما ينظرون إلا صيحة واحدة تأخذهم وهم يخصمون فلا يستطيعون توصية ولا إلى أهلهم يرجعون ونفخ في الصور فإذا هم من الأجداث إلى ربهم ينسلون قالوا يا ويلنا من بعثنا من مرقدنا هذا ما وعد الرحمن وصدق المرسلون إن كانت إلا صيحة واحدة فإذا هم جميع لدينا محضرون فاليوم لا تظلم نفس شيئا ولا تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون.
41. Another sign for them is that we bear their generations on the ship, laden with them and their cargo, and yet sustain the water without sinking. 42. And we have created for them the like of it, for land travel on which they ride. 43. If we will, we cause them to drown, and there is no help for them against their will, nor can they be saved from drowning. 44. Unless by a mercy from us and are allowing them to enjoy life for some more time until a term determined. 45. When they are told, beware of you and guard against what lies before you and what lies behind you, of unforgivable sins and punishments they will bring in the earth or the hereafter, and brought about in the past when committed by former people, so that they may be shown mercy, a good, virtuous life in the world, and eternal happiness in the hereafter. 46. Yet there does not come to them a clear sign from among the signs of their Lord, a revelation from among his revelations, but they turn away from it, being averse to the admonition given therein. 47. And when they are told, spend for the needy out of what God has provided for you, those who disbelieve say to those who believe, shall we then feed those whom God will feed if he willed? You are but in obvious error. 48. And they say, intending mockery, so when is this promise of resurrection and judgment, if you are truthful? 49. They should await only a single blast that will seize them unawares, even as they are disputing heedlessly among themselves about their worldly concerns. 50. Then they will not be able to even make a bequest, so suddenly will the blast seize them, nor return to their families. 41. And then trumpets will be blown, and see out of the graves they rush forth to their Lord. 52. They will cry, woe to us, who has raised us from our place of sleep. We have come to know that is what the All-Merciful promised, and that the messenger spoke the truth. 53. It is but one single blast, and see, they will all have been raised and arraigned together before us for judgment. 54. On that day, no soul will be wronged in the least, and you will not be recompensed for anything but what you used to do.
إن أصحاب الجنة اليوم في شغل فاكهون هم وأزواجهم في ظلال على الأرائك متكئون لهم فيها فاكهة ولهم ما يدعون سلام قولا من رب رحيم وامتازوا اليوم أيها المجرمون ألم أعهد إليكم يا بني آدم ألا تعبدوا الشيطان إنه لكم عدو مبين وأن اعبدوني هذا صراط مستقيم ولقد أضل منكم جبلا كثيرا أفلم تكونوا تعقلون هذه جهنم التي كنتم توعدون اصلوها اليوم بما كنتم تكفرون اليوم نختم على أفواههم وتكلمنا أيديهم وتشهد أرجلهم بما كانوا يكسبون ولو نشاء لضمسنا على أعينهم فاستبقوا الصراط فأنى يبصرون ولو نشاء لمسخناهم على مكانتهم فما استطاعوا مضيا ولا يرجعون ومن نعمره ننكسه في الخلق أفلا يعقلون وما علمناه الشعر وما ينبغي له إن هو إلا ذكر وقرآن مبين لينذر من كان حيا ويحق القول على الكافرين.
55. Surely the companions of paradise will on that day be in happy occupations, enjoying the blessings of paradise that God will grant them abundantly out of his grace in return for their good deeds. 56. They and their spouses are in pleasant shade, safe from any troubling weather, reclining on thrones. 57. They will have therein the fruit of their good deeds in the world, and they will have whatever they call for. 58. Peace is the word of welcome for them, and out of safety from any trouble from the Lord, all compassionate toward his believing servants. 59. And you, O disbelieving criminals, get you apart this day. 60. Did I not make a covenant with you, O children of Adam, that you should not worship Satan? Indeed, he is a manifest enemy to you. 61. And that you should worship me alone. This is a straight path for you to follow. 62. Yet he has assuredly caused great multitudes of you to go astray. Should you not reason and take heed? 63. This is hell with which you were threatened repeatedly. 64. Enter it this day to roast because you persistently disbelieved. 65. That day we will set the seal upon their mouths, and their hands will speak to us, and their feet will bear witness to what they earned in the world. 66. If we had so willed, we could certainly have bloated out their eyes, and they would have rushed around for the right path. How then would they be able to see their way? 67. If we had so willed, we could have fixed them in their places, immobilized where they are, unable to go forward or turn back. 68. Whomever we cause to live long, we may also reserve him in nature, so that he returns to weakness after strength, to ignorance after knowledge, to forgetting after remembering. So will they not really reason and take heed? 69. We have taught them the messenger poetry. Further, it is not seemly for him. This is but a reminder, teaching and admonishing, a Qur'an recited and conveyed from God, clear in itself and clearly showing the truth. 70. So that the messenger may warn with it those who are truly alive and thus can reason and see and hear the truth, and that the word of divine judgment after evidence and admonition may be completed against unbelievers.
أولم يروا أنا خلقنا لهم مما عملت أيدينا أنعاما فهم لها مالكون وذللناها لهم فمنها ركوبهم ومنها يأكلون ولهم فيها منافع ومشارب أفلا يشكرون واتخذوا من دون الله آلهة لعلهم ينصرون لا يستطيعون نصرهم وهم لهم جند محضرون فلا يحزنك قولهم إنا نعلم ما يسرون وما يعلنون أولم ير الإنسان أنا خلقناه من نطفة فإذا هو خصيم مبين فضرب لنا مثلا ونسي خلقه قال من يحيي العظام وهي رميم قل يحييها الذي أنشأها أول مرة وهو بكل خلق عليم الذي جعل لكم من الشجر الأخضر نارا فإذا أنتم منه توقدون أوليس الذي خلق السماوات والأرض بقادر على أن يخلق مثلهم بلى وهو الخلاق العليم إنما أمره إذا أراد شيئا أن يقول له كن فيكون فسبحان الذي بيده ملكوت كل شيء وإليه ترجعون
71. Have they not considered how, as signs of or lordship, out of what our hands have originated and fashioned, we have created for them cattle, and so they are their owners? 72. We have subdued them to them, so that among them are mounts for them, and from them they obtain food. 73. And they have many other benefits in them, and diverse things to drink. Will they not then give thanks? 74. Yet they have taken deities for worship apart from God, expecting that they may receive help from them. 75. They, the false deities, are unable to help them. Rather, they, the worshippers, are a supportive host for them. The false deities and all will be arraigned for punishment on the day of judgment. 76. So do not let their slanderous words against God and you grieve you, O messenger. Surely we know whatever they keep concealed of speech or deeds, and whatever they disclose. 77. He has human not considered that we have created him from so slight a beginning as a drop of seminal fluid, yet he turns into an open, fierce adversary, selfishly disputing against the truth. 78. And he coins a comparison for us, having forgotten his own origin and creation, saying, who will give life to these bones when they have rotted away? 79. Yet say, he who produced them in the first instance will give them life. He has full knowledge of everything, form and mode and possibility of creation, and of everything he has created. He knows every detail and every dimension of time and space. 80. He who has made for you fire from the green tree, and see you kindle fire with it. 81. Is not he who has created the heavens and the earth able to create from rotten bones the like of them, whose bones have rotten under the ground? Surely he is the supreme creator, the all-knowing. 82. When he wills a thing to be, his command is but to say, be. And in the self-same instant, it is. 83. So all glorified is he in whose hand an absolute dominion of all things, and to him you are being brought back.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصافات صفا فالزاجرات زجرا فالتاليات ذكرا إن إلهكم لواحد رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما ورب المشارق إنا زينا السماء الدنيا بزينة الكواكب وحفظا من كل شيطان مارد لا يسمعون إلى الملأ الأعلى ويقذفون من كل جانب دحورا ولهم عذاب واصب إلا من خطف الخطفة فأتبعه شهاب ثاقب فاستفتهم أهم أشد خلقا أم من خلقنا إنا خلقناهم من طين لازب بل عجبت ويسخرون وإذا ذكروا لا يذكرون وإذا رأوا آية يستسخرون وقالوا إن هذا إلا سحر مبين أإذا متنا وكنا ترابا وعظاما أإنا لمبعوثون أو آباؤنا الأولون قل نعم وأنتم داخرون فإنما هي زجرة واحدة فإذا هم ينظرون وقالوا يا ويلنا هذا يوم الدين هذا يوم الفصل الذي كنتم به تكذبون يحشر الذين ظلموا وأزواجهم وما كانوا يعبدون من دون الله فاهدوهم إلى صراط الجحيم وقفوهم إنهم مسؤولون.
In the name of God, the all-merciful, the all-compassionate. 1. By those, the angels who align themselves in ranks. 2. Some driving away with reproof. 3. And others reciting the reminder revealed from God. 4. But surely your Lord is one. 5. The Lord of the heavens and the earth and all that is between them, and the Lord of all the easts. 6. We have indeed adorned the lowest heaven, the heaven of the earth, with an ornament, the stars. 7. And for guard against every devil persistent in haughty rebellion. 8. They cannot hear anything from the high assembly of the angels of the heavens, and whenever they attempt to hear, become targets of missiles from all directions. 9. Repelled, and for them is a perpetual punishment. 10. Expecting one who snatches something by stealth and is pursued and destroyed by a piercing shooting star. 11. So ask them, the polytheists, are they more formidable in structure or those that we have created the heavens and the angels with them? Indeed, we have created them human beings from a sticky clay. 12. You find all God's acts wonderful and their denial strange, but they continue to mock God's message and his messenger. 13. And when they are reminded of divine truths and admonished by his revelations, they pay no heed. 14. When they see an extraordinary evidence of the truth, a miracle, they take it in mockery and call others to do the same. 15. And they say, this is clearly nothing but sorcery. 16. What? After we have died and become dust and bones, will we then be raised from the dead? 17. And also our forefathers of old. 18. Say yes, indeed, and most humiliated you will be. 19. It will be only a single scaring cry, and then behold, they are staring in dread. 20. And saying, woe to us, this is the day of judgment. 21. And it is said, this is the day of judgment and distinction between truth and falsehood, between the righteous and sinful, the day they used to deny. 22. God commands the angels, gather together all those who committed the greatest wrong by abstinently associating partners with God, and their devilish comrades, and all that they used to worship of idols, and the rebellious among humankind and the jinn. 23. Apart from God, and lead them to the path of the blazing flame. 24. And arrest them there, for they must be questioned concerning their deeds in the world.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ما لكم لا تناصرون بل هم اليوم مستسلمون وأقبل بعضهم على بعض يتساءلون قالوا إنكم كنتم تأتوننا عن اليمين قالوا بل لم تكونوا مؤمنين وما كان لنا عليكم من سلطان بل كنتم قوما طاغين فحق علينا قول ربنا إنا لذائقون فأغويناكم إنا كنا غابين فإنهم يومئذ في العذاب مشتركون إنا كذلك نفعل بالمجرمين إنهم كانوا إذا قيل لهم لا إله إلا الله يستكبرون ويقولون أئنا لتاركو آلهتنا لشاعر مجنون بل جاء بالحق وصدق المرسلين إنكم لذائق العذاب الأليم وما تجزون إلا ما كنتم تعملون إلا عباد الله المخلصين أولئك لهم رزق معلوم فواكه وهم مكرمون في جنات النعيم على سرر متقابلين يطاف عليهم بكأس من معين بيضاء لذة للشاربين لا فيها غول ولا هم عنها ينزفون وعندهم قاصرات الطرف عين كأنهن بيض مكنون فأقبل بعضهم على بعض يتساءلون قال قائل منهم إني كان لي قرين.
25. But what is the matter with you that you do not help one another to escape punishment? 26. Instead, on that day, they will be in utter submission without the least sign of arrogance. 27. And they turn to one another, exchanging words of blame with one another. 28. They, the ones led, say to the leaders, it was you who used to come to us, pretending to be our well-wishers and claiming falsehood to be the truth. 29. They, the leaders, say, no, rather, you yourselves were not believers, with no inclination and intention to believe. 30. And we have no power over you to compel you to disbelieve, but you yourselves were rebellious people. 31. So our Lord's word of punishment has come true against us. In justice, we are about to taste it. 32. So then, though without power to compel, if we didn't mislead you and cause you to rebel, for surely we ourselves had been lost in error. 33. So, on that day, they will be associated together in suffering the punishment. 34. That is how we will deal with the disbelieving criminals. 35. For when they were told that there is no deity but God, they would grow arrogant and reject it. 36. And they would say, are we to give up our deities for the sake of a poet possessed? 37. No. Rather, he has brought you the truth and confirms those messengers sent before him. 38. You are surely bound to taste the painful punishment on account of your attitude and actions. 39. And you will not be recompensed but for what you were doing. 40. But not so God's servants endowed with sincerity and faith and practicing the religion. 41. For those, there is in paradise a provision specially prepared. 42. Fruits as the reward of their life in the world, and they will be highly honored. 43. In gardens of bounty and blessing. 44. Sitting on thrones, face to face. 45. A cup will be passed round among them with a drink from a pure, gushing spring. 46. Clear, delightful for those who drink it. 47. Free from any headiness or harm, and they will not suffer intoxication from it. 48. And with them will be pure, chastade spouses whose glances are fixed on them only, most beautiful of eye. 49. As free from any ugliness and untouched as if they were hidden, ostrich eggs. 50. They will turn to one another, indulging in friendly talk. 51. One of them speaks thus, I had a close companion.
يقول أئنك لمن المصدقين أإذا متنا وكنا ترابا وعظاما أئنا لمدينون قال هل أنتم مطلعون فاطلع فرآه في سواء الجحيم قال تالله إن كدت لتردين ولولا نعمة ربي لكنت من المحضرين أفما نحن بميتين إلا موتتنا الأولى وما نحن بمعذبين إن هذا لهو الفوز العظيم لمثل هذا فليعمل العاملون أذلك خير نزلا أم شجرة الزقوم إنا جعلناها فتنة للظالمين إنها شجرة تخرج في أصل الجحيم ضلعها كأنه رؤوس الشياطين فإنهم لآكلون منها فمالئون منها البطون ثم إن لهم عليها لشوبا من حميم ثم إن مرجعهم لإلى الجحيم إنهم ألفوا آباءهم ضالين فهم على آثارهم يهرعون ولقد ضل قبلهم أكثر الأولين ولقد أرسلنا فيهم منذرين فانظر كيف كان عاقبة المنذرين إلا عباد الله المخلصين ولقد نادانا نوح فلنعم المجيبون ونجيناه وأهله من الكرب العظيم.
52. Who used to ask me, "Are you really one of those who confirm the truth of what the messenger teaches us about the last judgment?" 53. Will we, when we die and have become dust and bones, will we then really be raised and put under judgment? 54. He, the speaker, will say, "Would you like to look into hell to see him?" 55. He will look down and see him in the midst of the blazing flame. 56. He will say, "By God, you would nearly have caused me to perish." 57. Had it not been for the grace of my Lord, I would certainly have been among those arraigned in the flame for punishment. 58. Then, turning to his companions, he will say, "We are not to experience death anymore, are we?" 59. Except the former death that we experience in leaving the world, and we are not to be punished. 60. Then this is most certainly the supreme triumph. 61. For the like of this, then, let those who will labor to a goal labor. 62. Is this what is good as a welcome, or the tree of Zakum? 63. We have made it that tree a means of trial and punishment for the wrongdoers who associate partners with God. 64. It is a tree growing in the heart of the blazing flame. 65. Its fruits are like the heads of Satans. 66. So, most surely, they will eat of it and fill up their bellies with it. 67. Then, for them will be boiling waters to mix with the Zakum in their bodies. 68. And afterwards, they are bound to return to the blazing flame again. 69. Assuredly, they found their forefathers on the wrong path. 70. And yet, they rush after them in their footsteps. 71. Indeed, most of those communities that lived before them went astray. 72. Though we had set among them warners with our guidance. 73. So see what was the outcome for those who were warned but paid no heed. 74. Except God's servants, endowed with sincerity and faith and practicing their religion. 75. And Noah, just such a servant and warner, had called upon us for help. And how excellent we are in answering prayer. 76. We saved him and his true followers among his family and people from the mighty distress.
وجعلنا ذريته هم الباقين وتركنا عليه في الآخرين سلام على نوح في العالمين إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين إنه من عبادنا المؤمنين ثم أغرقنا الآخرين وإن من شيعته لإبراهيم إذ جاء ربه بقلب سليم إذ قال لأبيه وقومه ماذا تعبدون أئفكا آلهة دون الله تريدون فما ظنكم برب العالمين فنظر نظرة في النجوم فقال إني سقيم فتولوا عنه مدبرين فراغ إلى آلهتهم فقال ألا تأكلون ما لكم لا تنطقون فراغ عليهم ضربا باليمين فأقبلوا إليه يزفون قال أتعبدون ما تنحتون والله خلقكم وما تعملون قالوا بنوا له بنيانا فألقوه في الجحيم فأرادوا به كيدا فجعلناهم الأسفلين وقال إني ذاهب إلى ربي سيهدين رب هب لي من الصالحين فبشرناه بغلام حليم فلما بلغ معه السعي قال يا بني إني أرى في المنام أني أذبحك فانظر ماذا ترى قال يا أبت افعل ما تؤمر ستجدني إن شاء الله من الصابرين.
77. And we caused his offspring to endure on the earth. 78. And we left for him among later comers until the end of time this greeting and remembrance of him and his message. 79. Peace be upon Noah among all beings. 80. Thus do we reward those devoted to doing good as if seeing God. 81. Surely he was one of our truly believing servants. 82. As for the others who opposed him, we caused them to drown. 83. Abraham was surely one who followed the same way as his. 84. He had turned to his Lord with a heart sound and pure from any trace of insincerity of faith. 85. Remember when he said to his father and his people, what is that you worship? 86. Is it a fabrication that you pursue? Worshipping deities apart from God? 87. So, what do you think about the Lord of the worlds, that you dare to do so? 88. Then, when invited to participate in the religious ceremonies of the people on a festival day, he cast a glance at the stars. 89. And he said, indeed, I am sick. 90. So they, the others, turned away from him and departed. 91. Thereupon he approached their deities and said, will you not eat of the offerings put before you? 92. What is the matter with you that you do not speak? 93. Then he fell upon them, striking them with his right hand with all his strength. 94. Then the other people headed towards him hurriedly. 95. He said, do you worship things that you yourselves have carved? 96. While it is God who has created you and all that you do. 97. They consulted among themselves and said, build him a pyre and throw him into the blazing flames. 98. So they intended a scheme against him to destroy him, but we made them the ones brought low. 99. And he said, now I'm going to my Lord to quit my homeland purely for his sake, in the full conviction that he will guide me to a land where I will be able to worship him freely. 100. And he prayed, my Lord, grant me the gift of a child who would be one of the righteous. 101. So he gave him the glad tidings of a boy who was to grow as one mild and forbearing. 102. Then, when his son grew alongside him to the age of striving for the necessities of life, he said, oh, my dear son, I have seen in my dream that I should offer you in sacrifice. So think about this and tell me your view. He said hesitatingly, oh, my dear father, do as you are commanded. You will find me, by God's will, one of those who show steadfast patience in obeying God's commands.
فلما أسلما وتله للجبين وناديناه أن يا إبراهيم قد صدقت الرؤيا إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين إن هذا لهو البلاء المبين وفديناه بذبح عظيم وتركنا عليه في الآخرين سلام على إبراهيم كذلك نجزي المحسنين إنه من عبادنا المؤمنين وبشرناه بإسحاق نبيا من الصالحين وباركنا عليه وعلى إسحاق ومن ذريتهما محسن وظالم لنفسه مبين ولقد مننا على موسى وهارون ونجيناهما وقومهما من الكرب العظيم ونصرناهم فكانوا هم الغالبين وآتيناهما الكتاب المستبين وهديناهما الصراط المستقيم وتركنا عليهما في الآخرين سلام على موسى وهارون إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين إنهما من عبادنا المؤمنين وإن إلياس لمن المرسلين إذ قال لقومه ألا تتقون أتدعون بعلا وتذرون أحسن الخالقين الله ربكم ورب آبائكم الأولين.
103. Then when both had submitted to God's will, and Abraham had laid him down on the side of his forehead. 104. At just that moment, we called out to him, O Abraham. 105. You have already fulfilled the dream which tested your loyal obedience to the command. So you no longer have to offer your son in sacrifice. Thus do we reward those devoted to doing good as if seeing God. 106. Behold, all this was indeed a trial. Clear. 107. And we ransomed him with a sacrifice tremendous in worth. 108. And we left for him among later comers until the end of time, this greeting and remembrance of him and his message. 109. Peace be upon him, Abraham. 110. Thus do we reward those devoted to doing good as if seeing God. 111. Surely he was one of our truly believing servants. 112. We gave him the glad tidings of Isaac to be a prophet among the righteous. 113. We showered our blessings on both him, Ishmael, and on Isaac. And among the offspring of both, there have been those devoted to doing good, aware that God is seeing them, and those who have been plainly been wronging themselves by sinning. 114. We assuredly bestowed our favor also upon Moses and Aaron. 115. And we saved them and their people from the mighty distress of slavery and persecution. 116. And we helped them, so they became the victors. 117. And we granted them both Moses and Aaron the clear book, which explained the matters that had been secret, and which the people needed for the happiness of their life in both worlds. 118. We showed them the straight path, enabling them to follow in every matter without any deviance. 119. And we left for them among later comers until the end of time, this greeting and remembrance of them and their message. 120. Peace be upon Moses and Aaron. 121. Thus do we reward those devoted to doing good as if seeing God. 122. Surely those two were among our truly believing servants. 123. And surely Elijah was one of the messengers. 124. Remember when he said to his people, will you not keep from disobedience to God and reverence for him and piety? 125. Will you continue to invoke Baal as deity and forsake the creator who creates everything in the best and most appropriate form and has the ultimate rank of creativity? 126. God, your Lord and the Lord of your forefathers.
فكذبوه فإنهم لمحضرون إلا عباد الله المخلصين وتركنا عليه في الآخرين سلام على الياسين إنا كذلك نجزي المحسنين إنه من عبادنا المؤمنين وإن لوطا لمن المرسلين إذ نجيناه وأهله أجمعين إلا عجوزا في الغابرين ثم دمرنا الآخرين وإنكم لتمرون عليهم مصبحين وبالليل أفلا تعقلون وإن يونس لمن المرسلين إذ أبق إلى الفلك المشحون فساهم فكان من المدحضين فانتقمه الحوت وهو مليم فلولا أنه كان من المسبحين للبث في بطنه إلى يوم يبعثون فنبذناه بالعراء وهو سقيم وأنبتنا عليه شجرة من يقطين وأرسلناه إلى 100,000 أو يزيدون فآمنوا فمتعناهم إلى حين فاستفتهم ألربك البنات ولهم البنون أم خلقنا الملائكة إناثا وهم شاهدون ألا إنهم من إفكهم ليقولون ولد الله وإنهم لكاذبون أصطفى البنات على البنين.
127. But they denied him, and so they are surely bound to be arraigned for judgment. 128. Except God's servants, endowed with sincerity and faith and practicing their religion. 129. And we left for him among later comers until the end of time this greeting and remembrance of him and his message. 130. Peace be upon Eliasim. 131. Thus do we reward those devoted to doing good as if seeing God. 132. Surely he was one of our truly believing servants. 133. And surely Lot was one of the messengers. 134. Remember when we ordered him to leave and and to leave the land of sinners, and saved him and his family altogether. 135. Except an old woman among those who stayed behind. 136. Then we annihilated the others. 137. Indeed, you passed by them, the ruins of their dwellings, at morning time, during your travels for trade. 138. And by night, will you not then reason and take heed? 139. And surely Jonah was one of the messengers. 140. Remember when he left like a runaway slave for a ship fully laden? 141. And then he agreed to cast lots, and he was one of those who lost. 142. They threw him into the sea, and the big fish swallowed him, while he was accused by his conscience. 143. Had it not been that he was one who always glorified God, declaring him absolutely above having any defects and partners? 144. He would certainly have remained in its belly, serving as his grave until the day when all will be raised from the dead. 145. But we caused him to be cast forth on a desert shore, sick as he was. 146. And caused the gourd plant to grow over him. 147. And we sent him once again to his people, numbering 100,000. Rather, they tended to increase. 148. And they believed in him this time, and so, sparing them, we allowed them to enjoy life for a term allotted to them. 149. So ask them, O messenger, whether your Lord has daughters while sons are allotted for them. 150. Or that we created the angels female and they were witnesses. 151. Beware. It is surely one of their fabrications, they say. 152. God has begotten. Most certainly they are liars. 153. He has made gender discrimination, and so chosen daughters in preference to his sons. To sons has he.
Brothers and sisters, we are still trying to restart one of the Qari's Quran reciters, internet. So just bear with us for a minute or two. He's restarting his iPad for the streaming. Thank you very much.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ما لكم كيف تحكمون أفلا تذكرون أم لكم سلطان مبين فأتوا بكتابكم إن كنتم صادقين وجعلوا بينه وبين الجنة نسبا ولقد علمت الجنة إنهم لمحضرون سبحان الله عما يصفون إلا عباد الله المخلصين فإنكم وما تعبدون ما أنتم عليه بفاتنين إلا من هو صال الجحيم وما منا إلا له مقام معلوم وإنا لنحن الصافون وإنا لنحن المسبحون وإن كانوا ليقولون لو أن عندنا ذكرا من الأولين لكنا عباد الله المخلصين فكفروا به فسوف يعلمون ولقد سبقت كلمتنا لعبادنا المرسلين إنهم لهم المنصورون وإن جندنا لهم الغالبون فتول عنهم حتى حين وأبصرهم فسوف يبصرون أفبعذابنا يستعجلون فإذا نزل بساحتهم فساء صباح المنذرين وتول عنهم حتى حين وأبصر فسوف يبصرون سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صاد والقرآن ذي الذكر بل الذين كفروا في عزة وشقاق كم أهلكنا من قبلهم من قرن فنادوا ولا تحين مناص وعجبوا أن جاءهم منذر منهم وقال الكافرون هذا ساحر كذاب أجعل الآلهة إلها واحدا إن هذا لشيء عجاب فانطلق الملأ منهم أن امشوا واصبروا على آلهتكم إن هذا لشيء يراد ما سمعنا بهذا في الملة الآخرة إن هذا إلا اختلاق أأنزل عليه الذكر من بيننا بل هم في شك من ذكري بل لما يذوقوا عذاب أم عندهم خزائن رحمة ربك العزيز الوهاب أم لهم ملك السماوات والأرض وما بينهما فليرتقوا في الأسباب جند ما هنالك مهزوم من الأحزاب كذبت قبلهم قوم نوح وعاد وفرعون ذو الأوتاد وثمود وقوم لوط وأصحاب الأيكة أولئك الأحزاب إن كل إلا كذب الرسل فحق عقاب وما ينظر هؤلاء إلا صيحة واحدة ما لها من فواق وقالوا ربنا عجل لنا قطنا قبل يوم الحساب.
Brother, could you start from 154 all the way down to second page, which is Surah Sad, verse 16.
Okay. 154. What is the matter with you? How can you judge so? 155. Will you not still reflect and be mindful, or do you have a clear authority of evidence? 157. If so, produce your book, which, if you are truthful in your claim, must have come from God. 158. And they have concocted a kin relationship between him and the jinn to excuse their worshipping the jinn, whereas the jinn know quite well that they are created and sustained by God and are bound to be arraigned before him for judgment. 159. All glorified is he, absolutely exalted above such as they attribute to him. 160. But God's servants endowed with sincerity and faith in practicing the religion do not do so. 161. For sure, you and those that you worship. 162. Cannot cause any to deviate concerning God. 163. Except those who have willfully adopted the way to the blazing flame. 164. The angels whom they assert to be God's daughters say, there is none among us but has his duty and position assigned. 165. And surely we are those ranged in ranks ever expecting God's commands. 166. And most certainly we are the ones glorifying him, declaring him to be above having any defects and partners. 167. They, the polytheists, surely used to say. 168. If only we had a reminder of like those who lived before us had. 169. Then we would certainly have been God's servants, endowed with sincerity and faith in practicing the religion. 170. Yet now the Qur'an has come to them, yet they disbelieve in it. So they come to know. Indeed, our word of promise has already gone forth in respect of our servants with our message of guidance and warning. 172. That they would surely be helped to victory. 173. And that surely our host, the host of the true believers, they are certainly the victors. 174. So turn aside from them for a little while. Do not care what they do and say. 175. And watch them and see to what end their denial will lead them, as they also will see it. 176. Or do they seek to hasten on our punishment that it befall them immediately? 177. But when it descends encompassing them, then evil will be the mourning of those who have been warned. 178. And ignore what they say and do for a little while. 179. And watch them and see what the ultimate end of all people will be, as they also will see it. 180. All glorified is your Lord, the Lord of might and glory, exalted above all that they attribute to him. 181. And peace be upon the messengers. 182. And all praise and gratitude are for God, the Lord of the worlds. Surah Al-Sad 1. Sod, I swear by the glorious Qur'an, bearing the reminder with guidance, the truth and warning, that you are one who has been sent to convey God's religion. 2. However, those who disbelieve are lost in self-glory and opposition. 3. We destroyed before them many generations, who likewise willfully persisted in unbelief and opposition. In the end, they called out for help, but only when it was too late for the punishment they had earned to be cancelled. 4. They deem it strange that a warner from among them has come to them, and the unbelievers say, this man is but a sorcerer, a fraud who makes fabrications in attribution to God. 5. What? Has he made all the deities into one God? This is a very strange thing indeed. 6. The leaders among them went about inciting one another, move on and remain constant to your deities. Surely that, to which this man calls, is the very thing that is certainly intended, deliberately plotted by him and those who follow him. 7. We have not heard of this in recent ways of faith. This is surely nothing but a concoction. Nothing.
Could you finish until 16, same page, please?
I lost the page.
If you want, I can continue until you find the page.
Which page was it?
933 on the PDF, 981. You can read from the screen if you like at this moment.
5. What? All right. 3 or 4.
7, 8. Wait,
8.
verse 8. You finished 7. You are in verse 8.
8. From among all of us has the reminder been sent down on him? No, rather on account of their self-glory. They are lost in doubt concerning my reminder. No, indeed, they have not yet tasted my punishment, so that they might abandon their arrogance and recognize. 9. Or do they own and control the treasures of the mercy of your Lord, the all-glorious with irresistible might, the all-bestowing, that they presume to object to your being chosen as the
Arkadaşlar kesin bilgi. Durum çok ciddi. Yeni avukatla görüştüm.
10. Or do they own the sovereignty of the heavens and the earth and all that is between them? Then let them ascend to the heavens by ropes and see if they can prevent the message from being sent to you. 11. They are no more than a routed band of disunited parties. They are awaiting a defeat, as certain as the defeat of the hordes of old times who rejected the messengers and were utterly abased. 12. Before them, the people of Noah denied their messenger, and the Ad, and the Pharaoh who with formidable strongholds. 13. And also the Thamud, and the people of Lot, and the people of Al-Aika. Those are the hordes of old times. 14. Not one of them but denied the messengers sent to them, and therefore my retribution was their just inevitable due. 15. These wait but for a single blast, which will tolerate no delay to give them respite. 16. Yet they say, our Lord, hasten on to us, share before the day of reckoning. As our share before the day of reckoning.
اصبر على ما يقولون واذكر عبدنا داود ذا الأيد إنه أواب إنا سخرنا الجبال معه يسبحن بالعشي والإشراق والطير محشورة كل له أواب وشددنا ملكه وآتيناه الحكمة وفصل الخطاب فهل أتاك نبأ الخصم إذ تسوروا المحراب إذ دخلوا على داود ففزع منهم قالوا لا تخف خصمان بغى بعضنا على بعض فاحكم بيننا بالحق ولا تشطد واهدنا إلى سواء الصراط إن هذا أخي له 99 نعجة ولي نعجة واحدة فقال اكفلنيها وعزني في الخطاب قال لقد ظلمك بسؤال نعجتك إلى نعاجه وإن كثيرا من الخلطاء ليبغي بعضهم على بعض إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وقليل ما هم وظن داود أنما فتناه فاستغفر ربه وخر راكعا وأناب فغفرنا له ذلك وإن له عندنا لزلفى وحسن مآب يا داود إنا جعلناك خليفة في الأرض فاحكم بين الناس بالحق ولا تتبع الهوى فيضلك عن سبيل الله إن الذين يضلون عن سبيل الله لهم عذاب شديد بما نسوا يوم الحساب.
Brothers and sisters, please do not forget to make a secde tilave. Secde yapmayı unutmayın. Bu sayfa 453. sayfa bu sayfada.
17. Bear patiently all that they say, and remember our servant David, powerful in his glorification of God, in knowledge, in kingdom, and in fighting. Surely he was one ever turning to God in penitence. 18. 18. We subdued the mountains to glorify their Lord, along with him in the afternoon and bright morning. And the birds assembled, and all were returned to him in devotion and glorification. 20. We strengthened his kingdom and granted him wisdom and decisive speech to inform and convince and lead. 21. Now has the report of the litigants come to you when they climbed over the wall into the royal chamber? 22. When they entered in upon David, and so he was taken aback by them, they said, do not be alarmed. We are two litigating parties. One party trespassed against the rights of the other. So judge between us with the truth. Do not be unjust and guide us to the level path. 23. One of them explained the case. This is my brother. He has 99 ewes, and I have but one. Then he said, make it over to me. And he overpowered me in force of speech. 24. David said, he has undoubtedly wronged you in demanding your single ewe to add to his own ewes. Truly many are the partners in business who trespass against the rights of one another, except such as believe and do good, righteous deeds. But how few they are. David came to understand that we had tried him, so he appealed to his Lord for forgiveness and fell down in prostration and turned to God in contrition. 25. So we forgave him that. Indeed, he enjoyed nearness to us and an excellent place of final return. 26. O David, we have appointed you a vicegerent in the land to rule accordingly to our commandments. So judge among people with the truth, and do not follow personal inclination, lest it lead you astray from the path of God. Surely those who wander astray from God's path, for them there is a severe punishment, because they have forgotten the day of reckoning.
وما خلقنا السماء والأرض وما بينهما الباطلا ذلك ظن الذين كفروا فويل للذين كفروا من النار أم نجعل الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات كالمفسدين في الأرض أم نجعل المتقين كالفجار كتاب أنزلناه إليك مبارك ليدبروا آياته وليتذكر أولو الألباب ووهبنا لداود سليمان نعم العبد إنه أواب إذ عرض عليه بالعشي الصافنات الجياد فقال إني أحببت حب الخير عن ذكر ربي حتى توارت بالحجاب ردوها علي فضفق مسحا بالسوق والأعناق ولقد فتنا سليمان وألقينا على كرسيه جسدا ثم أناب قال رب اغفر لي وهب لي ملكا لا ينبغي لأحد من بعدي إنك أنت الوهاب فسخرنا له الريح تجري بأمره رخاء حيث أصاب والشياطين كل بناء وغواص وآخرين مقرنين في الأصفاد هذا عطاؤنا فامنن أو أمسك بغير حساب وإن له عندنا لزلفى وحسن مآب واذكر عبدنا أيوب إذ نادى ربه أني مسني الشيطان بنصب وعذاب اركض برجلك هذا مغتسل بارد وشراب
the earth, and all is between them in vain. So people should think themselves at liberty to act each other accordingly to his own desires and inclinations. That is the mere conjecture of those who disbelieve. Woe to those who disbelieve because of the fire. 28. Or do they think that we treat those who believe and do good, righteous deeds the same as who provoke disorder and corruption on earth? Or that we treat the pious, God-revering ones the same as the shameless, dissolute ones? 29. This is a book which we send down to you, full of blessings, so that they, all conscious, responsible beings, may ponder its verses, and that people of discernment may reflect on it and be mindful. 30. We granted to David, who was perfectly righteous in his caliphate, Solomon. How excellent a servant Solomon was. Surely he was one ever turning to God in penitence. 31. Once in the afternoon there were brought before him nobly bred horses, trained for fighting in God's cause, steady when standing and swift when running. 32. Having watched them for some time, he said, Indeed, my love for these horses is not on their own behalf, but because they serve for the remembrance of my Lord and conveying his name to other lands. And the horses were hidden by the veil of distance. 33. He commanded, Bring them back to me. Then he rubbed down their legs and their necks. 34. Indeed, we tried Solomon and placed a lifeless body upon his throne. Afterwards, he returned to God in contrition. 35. He prayed, My Lord, forgive me, and bestow upon me a kingdom which will not suit anyone after me. Surely you are the all-bestowing. 36. We accepted his prayer and subdued the wind to his service, so that it coursed gently by his command wherever he willed. 37. One of the Satans, the devils, we made subservient to him, every builder on earth, and diver to extract precious stones from the sea. 38. And others of the rebellious jinns linked together in fetters. 39. This is our gift, so either bestow from it or withhold from it, without reckoning that it may diminish or that you will be held to account for it. Surely he enjoyed nearness to us in an excellent place of final return. And remember our servant, Job, when he called out to his Lord, Surely Satan has caused me to be afflicted with distress and great suffering. 42. We told him, Strike the ground with your foot. Here is cool water to wash with and to drink.
ووهبنا له أهله ومثلهم معهم رحمة منا وذكرى لأولي الألباب وخذ بيدك ضعفا فاضرب به ولا تحنث إنا وجدناه صابرا نعم العبد إنه أواب واذكر عبادنا إبراهيم وإسحاق ويعقوب أولي الأيدي والأبصار إنا أخلصناهم بخالصة ذكر الدار وإنهم عندنا لمن المصطفين الأخيار واذكر إسماعيل واليسع وذا الكفل وكل من الأخيار هذا ذكر وإن للمتقين لحسن مآب جنات عدن مفتحة لهم الأبواب متكئين فيها يدعون فيها بفاكهة كثيرة وشراب وعندهم قاصرات الطرف أتراب هذا ما توعدون ليوم الحساب إن هذا لرزقنا ما له من نفاد هذا وإن للطاغين لشر مآب جهنم يصلونها فبئس المهاد هذا فليذوقوه حميم وغساق وآخر من شكله أزواج هذا فوج مقتحم معكم لا مرحبا بهم إنهم صالوا النار قالوا بل أنتم لا مرحبا بكم أنتم قدمتموه لنا فبئس القرار قالوا ربنا من قدم لنا هذا فزده عذابا ضعفا في النار
43. We granted him his household and like thereof along with them as mercy from us, and as a reminder with guidance and instruction for the people of discernment. 44. We also told him, take in your hand a bundle of rushes and strike with it. Do not break your oath. Surely we found him full of patience and constancy. How excellent a servant. He was surely one ever turning to God in penitence. 45. And remember our servants, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, endowed with power, in obedience to God and doing good deeds, and insight to discern the truth in things and events. 46. We made them perfectly pure and sincere by virtue of characteristic, most pure, their constant remembrance of the abode of the hereafter. 47. They are in our sight among the perfectly purified chosen ones, the truly good. And also remember Ishmael and Yesha, Isaiah, and Dhul-Kifl. Every one of them is of the truly good. 49. All this is a remembrance of the excellence of those who we have mentioned, and on an instruction for people. For the God revering pious, there is an excellent abode of return. 50. Gardens of perpetual bliss, whose gates are wide open to them. 51. In which they will recline on thrones, calling therein for many fruit and drink. 52. And with them will be pure, chaste-eyed spouses, well-matched, whose glances are fixed on them only. 53. This is what you were promised for the day of reckoning. 54. This is certainly our provision for you, with no diminishing nor end in it. 55. All this for the God-revering pious, but for the rebellious is an evil abode of return. 56. Hell, where they will enter to roast. How evil a cradle. 57. This then is for them, so let them taste it, boiling water and intensely cold dark fluid. 58. And paired with that, another torment of a similar nature. 59. O rebellious ones, here is the crowd of people who rushly blind into sin in your company, while in the world, and now they will rush into the fire together with you. The rebellious ones cry out, no welcome for them, they will indeed enter the fire to roast. They who blindly followed say, no, rather for you there is no welcome for you. It is you who forward this for us from the world. Then how evil a place to abide in. 61. And they say in supplication, our Lord, whoever forward this for us, increase him in punishment and doubled in the fire.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقالوا ما لنا لا نرى رجالا كنا نعدهم من الأشرار أتخذناهم سخريا أم زاغت عنهم الأبصار إن ذلك لحق تخاصم أهل النار قل إنما أنا منذر وما من إله إلا الله الواحد القهار رب السماوات والأرض وما بينهما العزيز الغفار قل هو نبأ عظيم أنتم عنه معرضون ما كان لي من علم بالملأ الأعلى إذ يختصمون إن يوحى إلي إلا أنما أنا نذير مبين إذ قال ربك للملائكة إني خالق بشرا من طين فإذا سويته ونفخت فيه من روحي فقعوا له ساجدين فسجد الملائكة كلهم أجمعون إلا إبليس استكبر وكان من الكافرين قال يا إبليس ما منعك أن تسجد لما خلقت بيدي أستكبرت أم كنت من العالين قال أنا خير منه خلقتني من نار وخلقته من طين قال فاخرج منها فإنك رجيم وإن عليك لعنتي إلى يوم الدين قال رب فأنظرني إلى يوم يبعثون قال فإنك من المنظرين إلى يوم الوقت المعلوم قال فبعزتك لأغوينهم أجمعين إلا عبادك منهم المخلصين.
And the rebellious ones say, what is it with us that we cannot see the man, the poor and weak believers, whom we used to count among the wicked? 63. Whom we used to take in mockery? Or is it that they are here with us, but our eyes have missed them, just as we turn our eyes from them in contempt in the world? 64. Such will, in truth, be the mutual wrangling of the people of the fire. 65. Say, I am but a warner. There is no deity save God, the one, with no one and nothing like or comparable to him, the all-overwhelming, with absolute sway over all that exists. 66. The Lord of the heavens and the earth and all that is between them, the all-glorious with irresistible might, the all-forgiving. 67. Say, this Qur'an is supreme message. 68. You turn away from it in aversion. 69. I had no knowledge of the high assembly in the heavens when they were arguing. 70. I follow only what is revealed to me, and it is revealed to me that I am but a plain warner. 71. Remember when your Lord said to the angels, I am creating a mortal man out of clay to set him on the earth as vicegerent. 72. When I have fashioned him fully and breathed into him out of my spirit, then fall down prostrating before him as a sign of respect for him and his superiority. 73. So the angels prostrated, all of them together. 74. But Iblis did not, in defiance of God's explicit order to him. He grew arrogant and displayed himself as an unbeliever. 75. God said, O Iblis, what prevents you from prostrating before the being whom I have created with my two hands? Are you too proud to bow down before any created being in defiance of my command? Or are you of those who think themselves so high in honor that they cannot be ordered to prostrate before anyone? 76. Iblis answered, I am better than him. You created me from fire, and him you created from clay. 77. God said, then get you down out of it. Surely you are one eternally rejected from my mercy. 78. And my curse is on you until the day of judgment. 79. He said, my Lord, grant me respite till the day when they are raised from the dead. 80. God said, you are of the ones granted respite. 81. Until the day of the time appointed. 82. Iblis said, then I swear by your glory, I will certainly cause them all to rebel and go astray. 83. Except your servants among them, endowed with sincerity in faith and worshiping you.
قال فالحق والحق أقول لأملأن جهنم منك وممن تبعك منهم أجمعين قل ما أسألكم عليه من أجر وما أنا من المتكلفين إن هو إلا ذكر للعالمين ولا تعلمون نبأه بعد حين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. تنزيل الكتاب من الله العزيز الحكيم. إنا أنزلنا إليك الكتاب بالحق فاعبد الله مخلصا له الدين ألا لله الدين الخالص والذين اتخذوا من دونه أولياء ما نعبدهم إلا ليقربونا إلى الله زلفى إن الله يحكم بينهم فيما هم فيه يختلفون إن الله لا يهدي من هو كاذب كفار لو أراد الله أن يتخذ ولدا لاصطفى مما يخلق ما يشاء سبحانه هو الله الواحد القهار خلق السماوات والأرض بالحق يكور الليل على النهار ويكور النهار على الليل وسخر الشمس والقمر كل يجري لأجل مسمى ألا هو العزيز الغفار.
84. God said, whatever I do and command is the truth itself, and the truth I speak. 85. I will most certainly fill hell with you and your kind, and those of humankind who follow you, all together. 86. Say, O messenger, I ask you no wage for this conveying the Qur'an to you, and I am not of those who claim to be what they are really not and make fabrication of their own. 87. This Qur'an is only a reminder with guidance and admonishment for all conscious beings. 88. You will most certainly come to know what it informs after a time as appointed for you. Surah 39, Az-Zumar. In the name of God, the All-Merciful, the All-Compassionate. 1. This is the book being sent down in parts from God, the All-Glorious with irresistible might, the All-Wise. 2. We have sent down to you the book with the truth embodying it, and with nothing false in it. So worship God, sincere in your faith in Him, and practicing the religion purely for His sake. 3. Beware, it is to God alone that all sincere faith, worship, and obedience are due. Yet, those who take apart from Him, others, angels, the jinn, or humans, for guardians and confidants, entrust their affairs to say, we worship them for no other reason than they may bring us nearer to God. God will judge between them, between those who worship and obey God exclusively and those who associate partners with Him, concerning all on which they differ. God does not guide anyone who is determined liar and ingrate. 4. Had God willed to take to himself a child, He could certainly have chosen whatever He willed out of all that He has created. All glorified is He, in that He is exalted above having any children. He is God, the One, the all-overwhelming with absolute sway over all that exists. 5. He has created the heavens and the earth with truth, meaningfully and for a definite purpose, and solid foundations of truth. He wraps the night around the day, and He wraps the day around the night, until one covers the other completely. And He has made the sun and the moon subservient to His command, each running its course for a term appointed by Him. Be aware, He is the all-glorious with irresistible might, able to punish those who oppose Him, the all-forgiving, who forgives those who turn to Him in repentance.
خلقكم من نفس واحدة ثم جعل منها زوجها وأنزل لكم من الأنعام 8 أزواج يخلقكم في بطون أمهاتكم خلقا من بعد خلق في ظلمات 3 ذلكم الله ربكم له الملك لا إله إلا هو فأنى تصرفون. إن تكفروا فإن الله غني عنكم ولا يرضى لعباده الكفر وإن تشكروا يرضه لكم ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى ثم إلى ربكم مرجعكم فينبئكم بما كنتم تعملون إنه عليم بذات الصدور وإذا مس الإنسان ضر دعا ربه منيبا إليه ثم إذا خوله نعمة منه نسي ما كان يدعو إليه من قبل وجعل لله أندادا ليضل عن سبيله قل تمتع بكفرك قليلا إنك من أصحاب النار أمن هو قانت آناء الليل ساجدا وقائما يحذر الآخرة ويرجو رحمة ربه قل هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون إنما يتذكر أولو الألباب قل يا عبادي الذين آمنوا اتقوا ربكم للذين أحسنوا في هذه الدنيا حسنة وأرض الله واسعة إنما يوفى الصابرون أجرهم بغير حساب.
6. He has created you from a single human self, and then he has made from it its mate. And he has sent down for you 8 in pairs of cattle. He creates you in the wombs of your mothers, one act and pace of creation after another, in 3 veils of darkness. This is God, your true Lord, who creates and sustains you. To him belongs the sovereignty, absolute ownership and dominion of everything. There is no deity but he. How, then, are you turned about to different kinds of belief? 7. If you disbelieve in him in ingratitude, yet surely God is absolutely independent of you. He is not pleased with ingratitude and unbelief from his servants. Whereas, if you give thanks and believe, he is pleased with it from you. And no soul, as bearer of burden, bears and is made to bear the burden of another. Then to your Lord is your return, so that he will make you understand all that you were doing and call you to account. Surely he has full knowledge of what lies hidden in the bosoms. 8. When an affliction befalls human, he calls upon his Lord turning to him in contrition. And then when he bestows a favor upon him, he forgets what he prayed to him for before, and he sets up rivals to God, so that he himself goes astray and misled others from his way. Say to such a one, enjoy your life in your unbelief for a while. You are for sure one of the companions of the fire. 9. Is he who worships God devoutly in the watches of the night, prostrating and standing, who fears the hereafter and hopes for the mercy of his Lord, to be likened to that other? Say, are they ever equal, those who know and those who do not know? Only the people of discernment will reflect on distinction between knowledge and ignorance, and obedience to God and disobedience, and be mindful. 10. Say, quoting me, O my servants, who believe, keep from disobedience to your Lord in reverence for him and piety. For those devoted to doing good in this world, aware that God is seeing them, there is good by way of recompense, and God's earth is vast, enabling worship. Those who are patient, persevering with adversity, worshiping God, and refraining from sins, will surely be given their reward without measure.
قل إني أمرت أن أعبد الله مخلصا له الدين أمرت لأن أكون أول المسلمين قل إني أخاف إن عصيت ربي عذاب يوم عظيم قل الله أعبد مخلصا له ديني فاعبدوا ما شئتم من دوني قل إن الخاسرين الذين خسروا أنفسهم وأهليهم يوم القيامة ألا ذلك هو الخسران المبين لهم من فوقهم ظلل من النار ومن تحتهم ظلل ذلك يخوف الله به عباده يا عباد فاتقون والذين اجتنبوا الطاغوت أن يعبدوها وأنابوا إلى الله لهم البشرى فبشر عباد الذين يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه أولئك الذين هداهم الله وأولئك هم أولو الألباب أفمن حق عليه كلمة العذاب أفأنت تنقذ من في النار لكن الذين اتقوا ربهم لهم غرف من فوقها غرف مبنية تجري من تحتها الأنهار وعد الله لا يخلف الله الميعاد ألم تر أن الله أنزل من السماء ماء فسلكه ينابيع في الأرض ثم يخرج به زرعا مختلفا ألوانه ثم يهيج فتراه مصفرا ثم يجعله حطاما إن في ذلك لذكرى لأولو الألباب
11. Say, I am commanded to worship God. I am commanded to worship God, sincere in faith in Him, and practicing the religion purely for His sake. 12. And I am commanded to be first and foremost in being Muslim, in faith in and submission to what I am commanded to convey to you. 13. Say, I fear, if I disobey my Lord, the punishment of an awesome day. 14. Say, I worship God, sincere in my faith in Him, and practicing the religion purely for His sake. 15. As for those of you who reject my call, worship then whatever you will apart from Him. You are forewarned of the consequences. Say, surely the losers are those who will ruin themselves and their families on the day of resurrection. Beware, this indeed is the obvious loss. 16. For them will be dark layers of the fire above them, and dark layers below them. With this God warned of His servants. O my servants, keep from disobedience to me in reverence for me and piety, and so deserve my protection against it. 17. As for those who keep away from false deities and powers of evil, instituting patterns of faith and rule in defiance of God, away from worshiping them and turn toward God in penitence. For them are glad tidings. So give the glad tidings to my servants. 18. Who, when they hear speech, follow the best of it in the best way possible, and even seek what is better and straighter. Those are the ones whom God has guided, and those are the ones who are people of discernment. 19. Is he against whom the word of God's punishment has been justified and realized to be likened to one who will be rewarded with paradise? Could you then deliver one of who is in the fire? 20. But those who keep disobedience to God in reverence for Him and piety, for them are lofty mansions built one above another, beneath which rivers flow. This is God's promise. God never fails to fulfill His promise. 21. Have you not considered that God sends down water from the sky and leads it into springs in the earth to flow therein? Then He causes to grow with it produce of various colors, when it withers, so that you see it grow yellow. Then he makes it break and fade away. In this, for sure, is a reminder for people of discernment.
أفمن شرح الله صدره للإسلام فهو على نور من ربه فويل للقاسية قلوبهم من ذكر الله أولئك في ضلال مبين. الله نزل أحسن الحديث كتابا متشابها مثاني تقشعر منه جلود الذين يخشون ربهم ثم تلين جلودهم وقلوبهم إلى ذكر الله ذلك هدى الله يهدي به من يشاء ومن يضلل الله فما له من هاد. أفمن يتقي بوجهه سوء العذاب يوم القيامة وقيل للظالمين ذوقوا ما كنتم تكسبون. كذب الذين من قبلهم فأتاهم العذاب من حيث لا يشعرون فأذاقهم الله الخزي في الحياة الدنيا والعذاب الآخرة أكبر لو كانوا يعلمون. ولقد ضربنا للناس في هذا القرآن من كل مثل لعلهم يتذكرون قرآنا عربيا غير ذي عوج لعلهم يتقون. ضرب الله مثلا رجلا فيه شركاء متشاكسون ورجلا سلما لرجل هل يستويان مثلا الحمد لله بل أكثرهم لا يعلمون. إنك ميت وإنهم ميتون ثم إنكم يوم القيامة عند ربكم تختصمون. صدق الله العظيم.
22. Is he who derives lesson from God's acts in the universe, and so, whose breast God has expanded to Islam, so that he follows a light from his Lord, is such a one to be likened to one whose heart is closed up to any remembrance of God and therefore to Islam? So, woe to those whose hearts are hardened against the remembrance of God and who learn nothing from his signs and revelations. Those are lost in obvious error. 23. God sends down in part the best of the words as a book fully consistent in itself, and whose statements corroborate, expound, and refer to one another. The skins of those who stand in awe of their Lord tingle at the hearing and understanding of it. Then their skins and their hearts come to rest in remembrance of God, the Qur'an. This is God's guidance, by which he guides whomever he wills, and whoever God leads astray, there is no guide for him. 24. Is he who thrown into fire upon his face with his hands chained around his neck, tries to guard himself with his face by trying to keep it away from the evil punishment on the day of resurrection, to be likened to one who will be saved from the punishment that day? It will be said to the wrongdoers, taste this day what you used to earn in the world. 25. Those before them denied the revelation, so the punishment came upon them without having perceived from where it came. 26. Thus God made them taste disgrace in the life of this world, but the punishment of the hereafter is greater, if only they had known. 27. Assuredly, we have struck for humankind in this Quran all kinds of parables and comparisons, so that they may reflect and be mindful. 28. It is a Quran in Arabic with no crookedness, free from any contradiction and anything offensive to truth and righteousness and reason, so that they may keep from disobedience to God in reverence for him and piety to deserve his protection. 29. God strikes a parable. A man in the employment of many partners who continuously dispute with one another, and another man employed by one person. Are those two equal in likeness? All praise and gratitude are for God, the only sovereign Lord of the creation. But most people have no knowledge of the meaning of this truth. 30. You will surely die one day, and surely they too will die. 31. Then, on the day of resurrection, you will stand in the presence of your Lord as litigants. Allah says the truth. Sadaqallahul Azim. Brothers and sisters, inshallah, we will continue tomorrow with the part 24, page 461, Juz 24. Assalamu alaikum.